What's up, guys? I went from 30% body fat to 15% body fat in 35 days. And I'm making this video to tell you exactly what I did with no BS so you can get the body that you want to. So watch to the end if you're trying to figure out how to get ripped. So what allowed me to drop body fat so quickly came down to about 3 main points. And you can basically break it down to lifestyle, diet, and training. Now, when I talk about lifestyle, I'm talking about the mentality and the mindset that you need to be able to obtain the body that you want. Because believe it or not, although burning fat is very simple, you have to commit to the process if you want to get the results. So when I talk about lifestyle, what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is that you have to be focused and locked in on your goal. Right? You have to make fitness your priority. Now, don't get me wrong. You're going to have other things in your life. You're going to have other things that you're doing, whether that's work, kids, relationships, or even just having fun on the weekend. But you need a certain level of focus. So how do you balance, right? Because obviously, it's not like you can just put your whole life on hold and think, let me just go do these workouts quick. Most people can't do that. Sure, maybe if you're young and you've got nothing going on, you might be able to pull that off. But for the most part, most people trying to lose weight have lives. So when I talk about lifestyle, it's just about making fitness your priority. Because we all got 24 hours in a day, basically. But what I like to do myself specifically is set out time in the morning. What this is going to do is it's going to prevent the rest of your life from interfering with your fitness goals. If the first thing you do when you wake up is focus on your fitness, regardless of whatever happens for the rest of the day, you've done what you're supposed to do, right? So that's why I definitely recommend having a morning routine. Obviously, not everyone's a morning person. Maybe you want a night routine. But basically, set out a time of day where you'll have the least amount of distractions. For most people, it's probably going to be in the morning. There are a few of you, though, where a routine at night might actually benefit you more just because you might actually have more alone time at night. But be very careful with that because a lot of times when you leave things for the end of the day and you're tired, a lot of the times they end up not getting done, basically. So I definitely recommend having a morning routine. And what should a morning routine even look like? So with the morning routine, the first thing is, let's keep in mind, this is about lifestyle. This is about mindset. Your morning routine should set you in the right frame of mind. What I like to do is just a simple routine. You don't want to try and climb Mount Everest in a day. They say Rome wasn't built in a day. When it comes to this fitness routine, all it is doing simple things that are repeatable, right? You don't want to swing for the fences and swing for a home run. You want to do little things that you can do consistently over time. What I really like to do is to walk, right? So just some steady state cardio in the morning. What this is going to do, obviously, when you do steady state cardio, instead of your body using glucose, it actually uses fat for energy. So immediately it's going to target fat cells. So first thing in the morning, boom, you go for a 30-minute walk. Maybe if you have enough time, you can squeeze in an hour, but steady state cardio. So that's any cardio that you can do that won't get your heart rate up and won't make you out of breath, right? So maybe even if you've got a stationary bike, you can just go on a bike easily and put in some work that way. Obviously, it's good for fat burning. The second thing is that you're actively doing something physical. So it really puts you into the mindset. You can really feel like you're having an impact and you're doing something for your health. What that does for you psychologically is it just tells you that you're on a mission and that you're making progress. That's another reason why I really like having that morning routine and having steady state cardio. The other thing you might want to do in the morning is to make sure that you know what you're eating for the day. So just write it out. Just select whatever meal that you're going to have. Basically, just make sure that you know what you're going to eat for the day in the morning. That way, you have less decisions to make at lunchtime, at dinner, and you're less likely to stray from your plan if you've already set it in place and if you've already got up and done exercise, right? Because it's building momentum. So while we're on the topic, obviously the next thing is diet. Again, diet is super important. You want to be in a calorie deficit and you also want to make sure you're eating enough protein. Reason why you want protein, obviously it's going to help you preserve your muscle mass while you cut. That way you keep your metabolism up and you don't end up skinny fat to where you've lost weight but you're still fat. You don't want that. If you want to avoid that and you want to have a ripped and lean physique, make sure there's enough protein in your diet. And then the other half of diet is to have set meals in place. When you're trying to hit your fitness goal, you need to know exactly what's going into your body, which means you're going to want to write out every single thing that you put in your body. Now, if you're eating something different every day and it's unplanned, after a while, you're going to be tired, you're going to be fed up, and you're not going to log things down. You're not going to track things. But if you have set meals and you already know what the calories are, what the macros are, it's going to be so much easier to log it and track things because it's easy because you already know what's in there. So have set meals in place. The other thing that having set meals helps you with is fighting cravings. If you have a set meal, you can add what you like into the meal. That way, you can be satisfied and still be eating healthy. And that's what you want if you want to get in shape. Because again, a lot of this comes down to consistency. And in order for you to be consistent over a long period of time, to some extent, you're going to need to enjoy what you're eating. So if you pick out set meals ahead of time, when it comes time to eat, you're not going to have to think about things. You're going to know exactly what you're eating and you're going to enjoy it. And that will make a big difference, especially when you're looking forward to your meals. It makes it easy to stay on track. The other thing I wanted to talk about and touch on really quickly is just your training, right? So it's your workouts, it's your exercises. So with your workouts, with your exercises, they are very important. The body's intelligent. When you're in a calorie deficit, it's naturally going to want to burn fat. However, if your protein numbers are low, and also if you don't use your muscles, it's going to signal to your body to get rid of some of that muscle mass. If you don't use it, you lose it. So make sure you're doing compound movements, exercises like push-ups, whether that's bench press, whether that's squats. Make sure you do exercises that are going to help you keep your strength up. That's going to signal to your body that you still need muscle mass, and your body will hold on to that muscle mass because it understands you still need strength. So that's a quick tip so you can help keep some of that muscle. The other thing that you want to make sure is that you're having enough rest. When you're cutting, depending on the macro, depending on how used to being in a calorie deficit you are, your energy levels are going to vary. What you don't want to happen is for you to be working out and you're getting weaker every single workout because maybe you're going too hard or maybe because your body's low on glycogen. So be very specific with the training. Make sure to train, but also make sure you don't overdo it. That way you can continue to train on your fitness journey. You can maintain your muscle mass and you can build that lean physique. If you need help figuring out what meals to eat, what sources of protein you want, how much of a calorie deficit you need, if you've been struggling, you need extra help, obviously just comment your questions down below. I'll try and help you out. But if you really need some extra help, I encourage you to reach out. The quickest way is to reach us on WhatsApp. There are also some links on the channel. So if you need any extra help, just comment down below. I'll try and help out and answer as many questions as I can. I can't promise I'll be able to get to all of them. But if you do have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those. And if you want to get that six-pack, obviously make sure your lifestyle is in order, right? Have the right mentality and have the right start to your day. Obviously, with your diet, you don't want it to be too boring to where you start having cravings and you start straying from your diet. Make sure you're using foods that you enjoy to help hit your macros and the right calories. And then also with your training, it's important to do. Make sure you don't overdo it, but also make sure you don't underdo it. So make sure you work your muscles so you can keep your muscles. Again, any extra questions, just message down below. I'll be happy to help. Again, my name's Kelechi. You can call me Coach K. And I hope you get that six-pack. I believe in you guys. Peace.